On behalf of Dr Will Fennell, Amber Shrestha and Anya McLaughlin, welcome to Passing the Torch. Congratulations, Madeline, on a most fantastic body of work. We've had a lot of medical students here today taking lots of pictures of the work, so it has already attracted huge interest. To my right, the green piece is Madeline's latest piece done this year. It's generally known that the Jennings Gallery has wanted to do a Madoline O Connell exhibition for some time. And though Madeline is reluctant to overstress her connection with Alexander Fleming, we also knew that we wanted to highlight the link with him. And we always try to introduce some kind of a health-related topic into our exhibitions here at the Jennings Gallery. So she reluctantly agreed. What we didn't know was that, or what I didn't know, was that Alexander Fleming's wife was Irish, that he was in fact a painter, and really interested in germ art, and there's a lot to be read about that just around the corner. We're also lucky to have some of the original penicillin culture in the cabinet behind Stephen. UCC is a very resourceful place. If you were to look for it, you would not find it. And as a complete coincidence today, we discovered that Pfizer had booked the Jennings Gallery this evening quite by accident for an occasion that they are having now in the room across the hall. And it is a coincidence because Pfizer, as many of you might know, were the original drug company that released penicillin in large amounts for World War II, and they risked a lot by doing that, and they were awarded the coveted Army Navy E-Award for their work during the war. So we concluded, Madeline, that this exhibition was meant to be. And so we're here. Further than that, we wanted to create a tiny little echo link to the magnificent Experience of Illness exhibition that is showing at the Glucksman right now. It's well worth a look, and I know that Madeline, at 97 years of age, would have plenty to say about her experience of chronic illnesses and age-related stresses. And it has to be said that also the discovery of penicillin had a significant impact on the global experience of illness. Our own Dr. Will Fennell, his contribution to the experience of illness cannot be overstated. And for 30 years, he has been at the heart of the development of cardiology nationwide, and he has spearheaded the world-class service that we now enjoy in Munster, culminating with the building of the cardiorenal tower in CUH in 2010. From the University of Chicago to a one-in-one rota here in Cork for 15 years, a two-cardiologist town. He forged, nevertheless, a distinguished career in cardiology. He has been president of the Irish Heart Association, president of the Irish Cardiac Society, chairman of the Irish Board of Trainers for Cardiovascular Medicine, and he is the chairperson of the Alumni Association here in UCC. He was a recipient of the UCC Alumnus Award in 2010 for his contribution to medicine and to the medical school here at UCC. And latterly, this year, he has been the Irish Times 2012 Lifetime Achievement Award recipient. He had, of course, a shared common ground with St. John O'Connell, Madeline's husband, in that they were both Cork pioneers in their own specialty. We're very honoured to have worked with him on this exhibition, and we thank you, Will, and put your hands together, please, to call him to the podium.
Siobhan, thank you. Dr. Madoline O Connell and family, Kate, Lorraine, Michael and Deirdre and families, President Michael and Siobhan, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jennings Gallery, which is our students' gallery. It's a great privilege to be asked to introduce this exhibition by Madeline, entitled Passing the Torch, a most appropriate title in this Olympic year. Madeline was born in 1915, graduated from her medical studies in UCC in 1937, a class of 27 with 4 girls. There she met her future husband, the distinguished orthopaedic surgeon St. John O'Connell, who introduced orthopaedic surgery to Cork in 1950. Madeline was the daughter of John J. Horgan and Mary Windle. Her father, John J. Horgan, was a leading author, solicitor, coroner for Cork, civic leader and politician. Madeline's mother died tragically when she was 5 years old. Her father remarried, another Mary, when Madeline was 9 years old and proved to be a great support to Madeline, and she made sure that Madeline was not going to be a lady of leisure. Her maternal grandfather was Sir Bertram Windle, first medical president of UCC. He was a polymath, anatomist, histopathologist, archaeologist and anthropologist, and was noted for competent scholarship, a prolific pen and boundless energy. He revitalised the moribund Queen's College of Cork when he came in 1904 into the UCC of the National University of Ireland in 1908. Amongst his most notable achievements was the building of the Honan Chapel, modelled on Cormac's Chapel in the Rock of Cashel. He insisted that all material where possible be Irish, and the chapel was adorned with Harry Clark windows. It is arguably the outstanding work of art in UCC still to this day. Her father, John J. Horgan, loved to paint, like Manet, dressed in a white bib and a black beret. The family home in Lacadove was littered with books on art, Renoir, Degas and many others. Her brother Ivor, who was also a solicitor and was coroner, he was also a talented artist. So clearly art was in Madeline's genes. Her art career came to life in the 1970s with her family reared. She attended classes at the Cork School of Art under Frank Sanquest, Victor Richardson, who's here with us today, and Billy Foley, and others. And she now appreciates how important Frank Sanquest's emphasis on acquiring drawing skills on the road to painting was. She started with pastels and watercolours and recalls very positively the teaching skills of Victor. She started with landscapes and portraits, and like so many great artists, has evolved into the abstract form in recent years, as you'll see. I will now digress slightly and recall a momentous visual observation in medicine by Alexander Fleming. Alexander Fleming interviewed Madeline for her position in Harefield Hospital in the early 1940s as pathologist and microbiologist. As Madeline will tell you, she was responsible for bugs and blood. She recalls an incredibly shy man who had difficulty making eye contact with her as she was heavily pregnant with her son John, who many of us will recall as our colleague John.
My daughter, Kate.
Kate. John died prematurely and tragically in 1998. And John's colleagues that are here today, I see Liam McFeely and Liam Spence and others. Now, in 1927, Alexander Fleming was investigating the properties of staphylococci. On September the 3rd, 1928, Fleming had returned to his laboratory after the August holiday. In his untidy office, he observed that one culture was contaminated with a fungus and that the colonies of staphylococci that had immediately surrounded had been destroyed, whereas other colonies further away were normal. He showed it to his assistant, Merlin Price, who reminded him, that's how you discovered lysozyme. Fleming grew the mould in a pure culture and found that it produced a substance that killed a number of disease-causing bacteria. He identified the mould as being from the penicillin genus, and after calling it mould juice, he named the substance penicillin in 1929. In 1945, it became commercially available with the help of Ernest Chain, Howard Florey, Edward Abraham and Norman Keelty. This was a great visual observation followed by great teamwork. You will see an agar plate under the O'Connell circus over there, with penicillin culture transferred from an original by Alexander Fleming from 1945. In this exhibition, you can explore the relationship between medicine and art, connecting two medical pathologists whose fascination with their work and art has transformed life in the 20th century. It highlights the importance of developing an eye, both in the medical profession and in humanity. The German poet Wolfgang Goethe describes as a talent, a developmental gift of Mother Nature, and says to see what is closest to the eye is often the most difficult. We now know that what nature does not gift can be gifted by nurture, and the eye can be trained. I now invite you to observe the artistic talent and creations of Madeline and participate in the ultimate passing of the torch in 2012. Madeline and family, I'd like to thank you very much for your cooperation on behalf of all past and present medical alumni of UCC. I'd like to thank Siobhan Murphy, the director, and Anya Murphy, the curator, and to our student curators, Anya McLaughlin and Amber Shrestha on my right. They designed the brochures and the invitations and performed so many other tasks in bringing this to fruition. And our student staff are helping with the refreshments. Final comment, any voluntary contributions towards the gallery's expenses will be warmly received at the table outside. And finally, I'd like to say, would Madeline like to say a few words?
Very few. I just want to thank Will, Siobhan, Amber and Anya for their wonderful work they put into this, and I would also like to thank everybody for coming, but particularly I'd like to thank my family for putting up with me and the nonsense. So,